I've had a lot of like little errors of like not feeling very joyous actually. And it's why I don't really have a lot of tolerance for circumstances that make me unhappy. It's why I will go and fix or figure it out, if that makes sense. That job was really horrible. I play it down, but like it was not a nice place. Like, and I think, that private school experience was really not a nice place either. So when I find myself in a place that's like really impacting my joy, I'm gonna have to find a solution, and I'm not scared to do that.
Did you leave private school while like midterm basically?
No. I got a scholarship into the next year, and I decided to reject it.
Wow, how did that go down at home?
Honestly, Mum, God knew who he was giving me when he decided this would be your first apartment. My mum is so supportive. Like, she saw me try my hardest. She saw me. She came in one time, and I think did I say the name of the school?
No.
Okay, good. So she saw me. So I can really talk. No, I'm joking. She saw me. She came in one time at the end of the term, and the way the teachers even treated her, that was the breaking point for me. That was when I was like, this isn't a place for me. Yeah.
Yo, people, we're back in the building. Welcome back to the Bread and Butter podcast. You're here with myself, Tayo.
And myself, E-Man.
And we got a special guest for you in the building. We got Koi in the building.
Beautiful
Let's get
people.
straight into it.
I always say special guest, but this is very special.
Oh.
For me, very special. Koi is one of my favourite presenters, personalities. I've learned so much from her. Like, I have different people that I'm a person that I learn more from people than I do from books or so forth.
Same.
So I find people that I really like what they do, and then I watch them a lot to see what can I take from them. And the way Koi is with her personality, her originality, her humour, she mixes it in. To me, there's no one that does it better. So I've been watching your content for time. Like, I watch all your videos. I watch your podcast. I love when you had the bit where you're like, there could be an advert here.
Yeah.
But you lot are sleeping. I just love. She's one of my favorite.
Oh my
on this
goodness.
Thing. So
yes,
it's a joy to have you in the room.
And
I'm going to tell my mom to pray for you tonight. Yeah. Things are going to get even better. All right, your turn.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it simple because Iman always goes off. But one thing that he said, right, that I think is so important is that I think the most powerful word he used is your originality. You're very original.
100.
In that, obviously, your name is unique as well, but there could only be one Koi. Do you get what I'm trying to say? When was the first time you met Koi?
I think I see it on socials. I saw her on socials.
Okay, cool.
But then I think where I really enjoyed your stuff when you started doing content, like, you know, the content on YouTube and stuff like that, and you started presenting stuff, and then you're just the way you blend in, because the thing about you is it doesn't matter who's around you. You always make everyone feel better, and you make the room like. So, for example, you could be in a video with, I don't know, Harry Panera or whatever, and these guys are big personalities, but you will just blend in, like you always fit in there, and you could then be in a room with just normal everyday people, and you just uplift them and make them look like they're super. You've got something. You're just a multiplier. Yeah. Whatever comes around you just multiplies into greatness. So it's just fantastic.
I've got a tangible example of that as well, because the first time that we met, right, it was for a shoot. One of my friends called me for like a shoot for a magazine, innit? And I didn't know who was going to be there. I was quite ill prepared.
I remember.
I just pulled up, and then there was a lot of people there I met for the first time, including Koi, innit? And Koi was, first of all, very original. I think it was wearing like one of those Russian hats, right?
But I don't know. I was going for a rough. The hairstyle wasn't slapping, so I had to rest on the face card.
She was wearing like a Russian hat and that, yeah. And one thing I realized, is that I couldn't tell who knows who in it, and I didn't really know anybody there in it, but everybody was cool. But Koi in particular looked like she knew everyone from the outside looking in. But the interesting thing is, I also thought to myself that, hold on, this person might also be thinking that Koi's not me for 4 years, and it's the first time we met today. And it's basically just a tangible example of what Iman was saying. But for those people that are not familiar with yourself, if you want to just let the people know who you are and what your bread and butter is.
Yeah, first of all, thank you guys. Like, I'm trying my hardest to not be a humble person anymore, but that warmed my heart. And if it was an emotional pod, I would have dropped 1 or 2 tears for you. So thank you. Honestly, I feel like I just love my personality. I actually really love my personality. I really wanted to show it because I love laughter, joy, and I love bringing people that don't usually know each other together. I think people are so interesting. So I first got into presenting, and then I had lots of ideas myself, and I found that people weren't picking me for ideas that I found were like, you know, more my speed. So I just created my own show. And honestly, the version of me that created my own show is my favorite version. Like there was no rules. It was like, if I want my own show, I'm going to build my own show. It wasn't exciting. It was so matter of fact to me. And I knew what I wanted to see and I just kind of created it. So I think ultimately I'm just a creative. I love people. I'm the kind of person who will talk to a stranger on a train anytime. I come from South, which is like the land of no begs. I think beg is actually a very good asset. I think it's a very good thing to be able to just strike up conversation. And I didn't realize that wasn't common or like a celebrated practice, because it's always brought good fruits in my life to be able to just talk to people. And people are so scared of it, so you come across like a superhero, just your ability to like get past that. But anyway, so I do presenting, producing, literally off of my YouTube I was able to then get like paid gigs in some of the most amazing places, whether that's Somerset House or beyond. And I don't know if I've even said presenting, hosting, I go on podcasts. My favorite thing is conversations. That is like the thing that I love the most. So conversationalist, if that's a thing. And most importantly, a student. Like I have more questions now than when I started. Like I love to just be in spaces I don't know about. I love to do new experiences. And any way that I can make myself be paid for it, I will find it. That is my title.
So I love the fact that you said you're a student, and I love the fact that you spoke about the spirit of beg, because we've said that, especially on the early episodes, that spirit of beg is killing our people.
Maybe let's not call it spirit of beg.
No. You know what
they need to beg. Have they seen their bank account?
But it's not a bit like, sorry, the spirit of feeling like a beg.
No. Let's do it.
Let me break it down, because like literally asking someone how they got to where they were is not begging. Like, and for some reason, there's been something that's just been hacking at our community, thinking that like asking for someone's advice that has done something that you want to do is a big thing, or speaking to someone that you don't know is a big thing.
Yeah.
But one thing I know you want to jump in, but one thing I want to mention, is that all the things that you described that you do, it's time for you people to pull out your pen and paper, because it felt like you were kind of like, what is it that I do? But what you do is that you be yourself when you're paid for it, which is amazing. And this is the time that we're entering into.
Yeah.
And people don't understand it. I always say to people that don't ignore the world that's changing around you. Yeah. It's very easy to do. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Yeah. And we have a raw example of somebody who loves their own personality and thought to themselves that the world would love this too. And as a result, is being paid for it. So people that are thinking to do the same, but I'm shy or this, go on.
But I feel like what Koi is like, for me, I feel like from a football, it's like your football player's favourite football player. Like how you got Thierry Henry, Ronaldo, Messi. Yeah. Like, if you ask football players, who's the player that do you know what I mean? They'll name certain football players as being their inspiration. If you ask creatives, like who is their favorite, like Koi is the creator's creative. Like you are like creatives have been watching you for time. Yeah. There are bare people who have modelled what they do, have the confidence to be themselves now because you were being yourself then. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and so what you've done is just you're Alfred said it, pioneer. Being a pioneer, you are literally someone who said, look, actually, I'm just gonna be me. Yeah. I'm not gonna try and be, because remember when we grew up, it was all about trying to be, we wanted to be Beyonce, or we wanted to be Britney Spears, or we wanted to be in a group, or whatever it was in. Everyone wanted to be someone. You were one of the few people that said, I'm just going to be me. Yeah. You don't even know who I am, but trust me, when you get to know me, you're going to like me. And you just put that out there. And now people get paid to do that every single day because you've shown that it's possible.
No, yeah, thank you. No, I definitely feel like when I was addicted to podcasts. Like with that forum, when it came out, I said, yeah, this is I like this. And I've never had a podcast myself, right? But I was like, this is incredible, because I remember, I think 3 Shots was probably one of the first pods I listened to. And I said, these sound like the guys in the back of my classroom, like when I was younger. Like these are the guys that have that humor that I get. And I didn't associate the characters I see where I grew up being on TV and that being like a successful thing. So I was hooked. And I remember I was in a really good grad job that I hated. They got me through that. They got me through that. And I remember just thinking to myself, like, okay, I could, when it came to like other podcasts, especially female fronted podcasts, they were also ladylike. They were also gentle, like real demure babes. And I loved it, appreciated it, but I never felt like that was me. I felt like I loved whatever I was, I couldn't see it. So I just thought,
make what you can't see.
Yeah, literally, I create for myself. Like I create, and I guess on the starting scale, that's the best thing to do. Like I create for what will stop me from scrolling on, like what would make me watch, what would make me feel related to this. And yeah, when it came to, and obviously shout out to ladies, I'm a lady too. But I just remember thinking I wanted something that for maybe the tomboys, maybe the reformed ones, maybe the ones that I've had male friendships and female friendships, you know. Yeah, I just wanted to see that. So I did it. And what's so interesting is that naivete allows for such creativity because you don't have any rules. You just are just doing stuff. So yeah, that was it. But guys, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
So what was the first thing you did?
The first thing I did, I my first time presenting ever.
Yeah.
I literally was, I had a job in fashion. So I just came out of uni. I had a job in fashion and I hated it. And guys, they used to make me, the Indian girl, and the plus size girl sit on the table by ourselves. And everybody else was like, or like white girls, but like all the same height, slim, all of that, right? So no one really spoke to us, but we used to have a ball. We used to have the best time on this table. So one time they invited me to come and sit with them. Guys, that was the beginning of the end. I just couldn't, not that there was a problem.
Yeah.
It was a different energy. It was it wasn't my energy. And I remember leaving work one day after a really long day because when I'm not enjoying something, I feel like I become a little bit dumb. Like I'm not as good at the job. I don't know what it is. Like I kept making dumb little mistakes and I was really worried. And I knew that firing was going to come at some point. I felt it. So anyway, I got on a train one day and they took me out for like, you know, corporate jobs, they always get you drinking. So they took me out and had my very first beer. And so I went home. I was a little bit drunk and I was a little bit tired.
Oh, but was you going to say hi?
No, I was, but I said,
you know, when they say drunk sometimes, they say hi instead. This beer was getting me high.
It was definitely beer. It's definitely beer.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying that you said it in the half context, basically.
Yeah. Literally. That's why I should stop chilling with my uncle. But yeah, like I was, and then I got on the, this is really long-winded to just say, I got on the train and I saw these two guys and I was kind of like talking to the whole train carriage, like I just having a bit of a time, and they were like, "Hey, you're like really funny. We're filming something. Do you wanna come?
Way.
Do you wanna come and film?" And I was like, "Absolutely not," because no matter how out of it I may be, I'm south. I'm always aware. Like I'm always street. So I was just like, absolutely not. But I would love to learn behind the cameras because I knew that this job wasn't for. I didn't enjoy it. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, let me come through. And it was word on the curb. I don't know if you know those guys, but Hayo and Endu, there was those two guys that was on the train, and I went and they didn't really follow up, but spit of the beg, I said, yo, I'm like, hey, I really am interested. So I think I like knocked their door down metaphorically a couple of times, and they were like, yeah, we got this thing at YouTube, do you want to come? So I went to YouTube's headquarters in King's Cross. Okay. Yeah. And I don't know why, but it blew my mind. Like I think Nella Rose was there at the time, and who else? She just had a baby. I can't remember her name. Annie Drea was there. Just people that were on my YouTube. Like I watched them, and I just was watching them do them, and I was like, "This is cool. Like this is way better than my day job." Still didn't have. I was still very focused on being behind the cameras. Yeah, and then one time, DJ Matthews. I don't know if you guys know him, but he was there, and he was like, "Hey, I'm Annie Drea. I would love you to co-host this show that we've got coming up." And I literally stood in front of Andrea and I was like, yeah, I could do that. Because at the time I had watched Everyday Struggle, which is a show in America. And he mentioned that that's what it was based off of. And I loved that show. So I was kind of just like, Andrea, I can't speak for her, but she is a very successful babe who's very busy. I had a feeling that this new experimental thing, I have more capacity for than she does. So I remember just saying, hey, well, you know, I'm open to it as well. And I don't really know what happened, but I think he hit me up and he was like, yeah, like, would you like to do it? I didn't steal it from Annie Jo. I think she just wasn't that interested. And then, so we started Timeline. And that was like a show that went on for like 2 years. Yeah. And it was my first introduction to on-screen. I was terrible at it, guys. I was so bad. I remember after the first filming, I left and I think I cried. I felt like I did such a bad job. But I kept showing up. I kept coming every Friday. I would miss like my manager at work. By this point, I was in a different job, a really well-paying job. And she was like, you should be hanging out with the colleagues more on Friday evening rather than running off to doing whatever you're doing. But I didn't, there was nobody in the job I was in, it was in marketing, that had a job I wanted. Like I didn't look above and say, yeah, I really want to be you. I was like, I like you, I like your personality, but there was nobody there. So at this point, no vision, no goals, no dreams, just what do I gravitate towards more? And so then we did timeline for 2 years. I learned tons. I also learned a lot about social media. I also learned about how hard it is to kind of be yourself because everyone had an opinion. I didn't have Twitter till I was like 21. So I didn't know the rules. I didn't know like how hostile it was. So I just was very free. I was very orientated. And yeah, then when that ended, I had learned so much about production. I had learned so much about like what I wanted my voice to be. And yeah, then I kind of created the Fashion Safe Space and the Safe Space show. And the rest is history. And then also I went Afro Nation as well. And I think after that, I met a lot of people when I was in Afro Nation 2019, the iconic one. And yeah, then I think through that, I started to book more hosting gigs and stuff like that. Then the next time I went to Afro Nation, I was hosting Afro Nation as well. So yeah, it was very much like relationships, very much like just trying a thing. Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's an amazing story. And a lot of the things that you've said are consistent with a lot of the success stories that we've had on this podcast. And I think it's important to show that sometimes some of the things that I love that you said is that a lot of people don't really have a strategy. They don't assess what's around them. Yeah. And you being in your workplace and saying that, do you know what? The pay is good here, but I don't actually want any of these lots of jobs. Like, do you know how powerful that is in itself? Like, you've assessed it and now you know that, okay, what am I going to change basically? Yeah. And you put your energy elsewhere. Even little things like, oh, I can host it. Yeah. You know what I'm trying to say? That is something that moves the needle. Like that is a pivotal point in everything. I kind of want to go back some steps, right? Let's learn about Young Queer. You always lived in South London?
Always.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Were you popular in school?
No.
Okay, tell us about that.
Well, what part? Which school?
Yeah,
primary
it's true.
School.
Yeah.
Primary
You have to break it down, though.
Yeah,
it's different.
Primary school, not so much. But our school was really small. I always went to small schools, so like everybody is known because it's a small school. I think secondary school I had a bit more sauce. Secondary
school is probably one of the most important.
Yeah, that's where I developed my sense of humor as well, because I had like serious acne, like kryptonite acne, Superman acne. It was really like not cute, and it meant that like often if people wanted an easy target, they might try me. So I had to be quick. I had to be, So I remember when Ryan tried to come for me.
Ryan.
And I remember the first time, like I felt like the joke he was saying was about to come my way, and I remember just spinning it. I can't remember how, but and I remember not feeling like the butt of the joke, but like the maestro of the joke. I remember feeling like I gained back some control, and so from that point on, I was quick with it. There was no way I was going to be funny or witty, but I wasn't going to be the victim. That really gave me a sense of personality. It made me really enjoy when people were laughing and all of that stuff. And so, yeah, I think our school was small enough. I would say I was popular in secondary school. Small. But yeah, that's it.
What about college? What about uni?
College. So I got a scholarship into private school. So sixth form, I went to a private school and I really didn't enjoy it, guys. It was a real culture shock for me. I was I wasn't popular there because it was very much like super duper rich kids. Looking back now, I should have done more networking, but like, cause they were all right, but I just wasn't involved. Like there was no, where I was so social in secondary school. Here, they just left me out, if that made sense. So I decided, and it wasn't just that as well, like the teachers were actually way worse than the students, to be fair. So I made the decision to kind of continue my education elsewhere and then go to uni. So that was not that great. It was cool, it was fine, but I didn't really have a social life until my next step from that. And then
What was uni like?
Uni was dope, man. I went to a uni where I knew nobody. I went to University of Leicester. And so nobody else went there. No, let's be guided. It's only a party uni if you want to party, okay? So I went to University of Leicester and I actually got my accommodation at DMU because
you really wanted to party.
I wanted to enjoy. I wanted to enjoy myself. And yeah, uni was calm. Uni was good. Like I wouldn't say I was the one that went to lectures all the time. So, Mum, I feel like only because you could do a lot of stuff from home. I went to a uni where there was nobody else, right? So I got to really define who I was. It wasn't who people knew me. It was like I got to be who I was. So I remember I got a massive afro, started doing vintage clothing. I just was doing my own thing, honestly. For some reason, I still created community. My one regret was I was in a relationship the whole of uni, man. Don't do that. Unless it works for you.
Let's talk about that. Why was that your one regret?
Because I feel like I said, I'm somebody who likes to like meet new people, and that kind of created a bit of laziness, I guess. It's just like, this is who I'm with, this is where I'm gonna hang out. I kind of wish I explored a lot more. So I would really push that on my kids. Like, would I even send them to uni? I don't know. But yeah, so that was it. But uni was, I had a lot of great experiences, but I definitely think after education was when I really started to develop a full social life, or make mistakes or have experiences and stuff like that. Yeah. So that was that.
Before Iman jumps in, because I know he's probably got a question, I want to ask something. It may seem random in it, but you said something earlier about your content, and you mentioned the word joy. Yeah. For you, is there a difference between joy and happiness?
Intellectually, maybe, yeah. Like, I would say like happiness is a little bit more fleeting, an immediate reaction to something that's happening, where joy, I feel like, exists outside of the circumstance, or is independent on the circumstance. You're just a joyous person, or you just feel joy, like it's not down to a particular thing. But that's only through like Christian learning that I would say that distinction came. Otherwise I wouldn't really.
Yeah, I was asking specifically because of that, because I know that's a big part of your content, and obviously for Iman and I, we're both Christians as well, so it's something.
What, joy or Christianity is a big part of your content?
Christianity is a big part of your not your content, but who you are in it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because I know that earlier you previously mentioned that like your life had changed a little bit when you kind of
took it more serious. Took
it more serious. So no, that's big, man. I've always felt that joy is something that is super, super important. Like, I find myself not saying happiness, because for me joy is fundamentally different. Like, it's like you say, it's less reactive. Yeah, happiness feels a bit more reactive, where joy is kind of like in you. All the time.
Yeah, I've had a lot of like little errors of like not feeling very joyous, actually. And it's why I don't really have a lot of tolerance for circumstances that make me unhappy. It's why I will go and fix or figure it out, if that makes sense. That job was really horrible. I play it down, but like, it was not a nice place. Like, and I think that private school experience was really not a nice place either. So when I find myself in a place that's like really impacting my joy, I'm gonna have to find a solution, and I'm not scared to do that.
Did you leave private school like midterm, basically?
No. I got a scholarship into the next year, and I decided to reject it.
Wow, how did that go down at home?
Honestly, Mum, God knew who he was giving me when he decided this would be your first apartment. My mum is so supportive. Like, she saw me try my hardest. She saw me. She came in one time, and I think did I say the name of the school?
No.
Okay, good. So she saw me. So I can really talk. No, I'm joking. She saw me. She came in one time at the end of the term, and the way the teachers even treated her, that was the breaking point for me. That was when I was like, this isn't a place for me. Yeah. And I've always been given quite a lot of independence around the decisions I make, like in terms of my education, because she knows I'm very ambitious. So she doesn't think I'm gonna, I don't know, run away to Latin America and make love under the sun. Like, she knows I want to win in life. I mean, but she knows I want to win in life, so she trusts my decision making. Do you know what I mean? So she was really supportive. She saw I tried. She saw, like, I remember I didn't tell anyone. I just enrolled in a new school and told the private school 2 weeks later, and I told my mum after I had enrolled, and she was like, you tried. And it took a lot from us as well. She was, even though it was 100% scholarship, she was paying what they call extra fees or something. It was quite a big, like a big hit on our family at the time. And she was showing up, doing her bit. And I just thought all of this, and I feel like I was performing better in a different school. I feel like I was happier in a different school. It was one of the things that taught me that we have free will. Yeah. That was like a big thing, that everything we do in this life is a choice. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I think the thing that from when you tell the story that I really think, because a lot of our listeners are quite young people, they're aspiring, they're trying to get ahead. And I think one of the big things you decided when you said to use in a high paying job, doing well, your manager saying, look, don't leave on Friday. Stay with the team. Yeah. And that's obviously those
It wasn't
things.
even direct. It was, that that little like, where you going? Like, yeah.
But like, join us, because obviously we all know that promotions are done in the pub.
Yeah.
Not at work.
100%.
But you knew that actually it wasn't about the money for you then. It was about finding your purpose and what you enjoyed and what you wanted to do. And I think the difference is that if you didn't act then, you would have got further, got higher, now you got a mortgage. Now you got all these responsibilities, and now it's too late to turn
You're
back.
making me itch. Yeah.
No, because that's what happens. I see it all the time with a lot of my clients. They're like, I earn 85k, 90k,
locked in.
but now I want to go and do this. I got to start at the bottom. That's 35k.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't run anything on that.
Your life
you can't run it on that.
Yeah, literally. No.
Whereas if it was at 45, 50, you said, actually, you know what? I want to go. It's not that big of a drop, and you can still build and grow. So it's so important to know what you want rather than focus on the money.
I really don't want to give off the impression that I know what I want. I even told you before I came here that I've been thinking hard. Like I wouldn't. I think it was more so that I know I couldn't continue to feel the way I was feeling.
It's part of knowing what you want.
Is that part of knowing what you want?
I think you're watering it down, because I think that you've definitely evidence here that you know what you want. Like there's a lot of decisions that you made that a lot of people wouldn't have been able to make.
Yeah.
In private school, leaving private school in a well-paying
I'm proud
job.
of that, man.
Yeah, there's a lot that you're definitely showing that you know what you want. It's interesting the point that you make, innit? Because I think that, especially for you and I haven't spoken about it to you, but I know you probably feel the same, that sometimes when you speak to young people, it's like, I've got 2 kids, a wife, and a house, and it's kind of like, like the idea of starting over and doing X, Y, Z. Some people, like, you may feel that you may be, I don't know, you may not be in a position to do it, but sometimes you need to really understand the positioning that you're at. And I think that you made the solid choices at the right time, because it's hard to start over when you've got a whole family and stuff like that. Like we said.
You both kind of started really permanent decisions quite young.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever feel, and you can sidestep this. In fact, just say orange if you don't want to answer. Did you ever feel like
too much?
No, like, did you ever feel like, yo, I want to run away? Like, this is too like this is too much. Like, I feel like you guys are quite like, black strong men, like type of thing. So I feel like you guys would never allow yourself to entertain the thought. But did it ever feel like, I'm locked in?
No.
You can say orange.
No, I'm not going to say orange. It's a good question. I think that one thing that we speak about on the podcast a lot is long-term planning. So I've been with Antoinette, my wife, since we were together since we were in university.
Yeah.
Now, when I've come to the age of like 25, 26, it's kind of like, at this point, marriage is only a value add. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I'm also thinking at this point, the age to get married and have children and XYZ and XYZ. So I didn't ever feel locked in. I kind of felt like it's a natural progression, but it's things that I'd been thinking about, because I'm really looking at life 2 years ahead, 5 years ahead, and 10 years ahead, basically. So it kind of worked out in the trajectory. There's a little bit, I think Iman is similar to me in that I was one of the first in my batch to get married as well. So you then become the first person to do it, innit? But there's also pressure and a responsibility to show that, like, all right, cool, I'm going to show what it can be like and find my way through it. But I think there's like a lot of things in life, like these decisions that you make. Sometimes you can have to make a decision where you're going to have to be the example.
Yeah.
And just...
Seems like that was your nature. Then your nature, you were always going to, like, if you found the right person, settle down. You always saw it as a positive. Are your parents together?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
makes perfect sense. How about you?
I think for me, it was difficult because I was a kind of a youth leader at church, so I had all Tayo and his guys looking up to me, and so there was so much pressure that, like, I had to succeed, and a lot of the time you don't know who you are until success touch you, like, because when you haven't got anything, you're gonna struggle, fight, and when you're now, people are looking at you like, oh, you're this. But I remember when I got my car, my company car from Barclays. They were all like, wow, the only people we know that drive this car is a drug dealer. And so now I'm like, oh yeah, don't do drugs. Like,
don't do drugs. Now you're an advert.
I'm like, whoa, like,
get a job.
Yeah.
Like, I've got these lot's parents coming to me like, Iman, can you go and talk to Iman? These men are misbehaving. They're not calling police. They're calling me. Like, do you understand? They're calling me. They're not calling social. Iman, come to. All of a sudden, there was this responsibility. So then, I realized, bro, you got to settle down.
Oh, really? So this was before settling down.
This is before settling down.
Okay.
I had the opposite, because I wasn't really good with girls and all of that when I was, and then all of a sudden something just changed.
Yeah.
And then girls started to like me.
Yeah.
I lost my mind. Like, imagine not being able to get something for like, what? When my friends was all getting girls, I was always the guy just on the side. Like,
you've been fasting.
Come on.
Yeah, now you broke fast.
Now the fast has broken.
Oh, gosh.
No. I was
Involuntary,
bro. Involuntary, bro. Man didn't want to fast. Man was on the edge, just watching.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
So now girls are into man. Then I've got a good job. I'm working in the bank.
Yeah.
Now I'm not even having to use lines. I'm just giving them my business card. They're seeing financial planning manager. Bro, it was a mad time. So, but then I'm thinking, what example am I setting to these men?
Okay.
Because I'm talking to them. I'm sharing like what's going on because I'm letting them know what I'm going through. And I was like, actually, I need to settle down. I need to show them the right foundation.
Yeah.
Then I met my wife and I was like, no, you're a wife. Like, you're a wife.
No, okay, what 2 things that made her a wife in your eyes?
Number 1 was in regards to the fact, I know it's going to sound bad, but she was born in Nigeria.
Yeah.
So her mindset
was totally different.
Completely different.
So how? In what way though?
In the sense of like service, looking after. It's normal. It's not I have to do this or I have to. It's I want to do this. I want to. This is what is normal to me and what I feel like.
So you wouldn't have to negotiate that. That came ready in the package. That came ready. Cool. What was next? And
then in regards to respect, like the respect my wife, like I always say, I did a test on her. So she was at Portsmouth University. I'm in London. So we meant to go on a date. So she came back from Portsmouth University. We agreed on the Friday, we're gonna meet on the Saturday. Saturday, I just said, I'm not gonna answer the phone. I just blanked it the whole Saturday. Sunday, I see her in church.
Is the camera looking at me? Okay.
Yeah. Sunday, I see her in church.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's vexed. And I was like, I want to see how she's going to react because I know she's going to be angry. I was like, oh, yeah, you know what? My mum wasn't well. Her whole demeanour just changed.
So you lied? Or was that was
lied.
It? So wait, hold on.
I completely
You
lied.
should have said orange. So I
completely lied.
All right. So you tested her and then lied.
I didn't lie.
Okay.
So I completely lied.
Okay.
And then...
To test her character.
To test her character and how she would react.
To test her character, you broke your character.
Yeah, exactly.
So I love this.
So then her whole demeanor totally changed.
Yeah.
She was calm. And so then I was like, okay, I know. Obviously, I told her what had happened like straight after. So
when you say straight after, when? 5 years later?
No.
Oh, okay.
I told her.
You told her, actually, I was just trying to see if you were the kind of woman because I see a future with you and that.
Exactly.
All right.
So I literally told her.
Yeah, no, you were right to not go and get a girl from South London.
Come on.
You were correct for that one. But I get you.
So it was just like her demeanor, the way she talked, the way she behaved, the way she reacted, the fact that I knew that she wanted to have children, the way that she was good with children. So her auntie's daughter, she literally, when her auntie started to go work, so she already nursed a young child.
I will say your wife has an incredibly warm spirit.
Yeah, her personality.
Very much. So.
Very, very calm, but very disciplined. So where I'm weak, she's strong.
Oh.
So where I'm just free, let's enjoy this life. My wife is very regimented and we need to do. And so, when it just balances. So I'm just like, so when I married my wife, number one, most people are like, what happened to you? Like, what happened? Like,
how did you get the discipline? Because if you had been fasting, then you broke fast. How did you then pick one meal for the rest of your life? Like, how did you make sure that behavior didn't come into this behavior? Because a lot of men think they're going to change naturally when they get married, but
it took. I say on me and my wife's podcast. I think I spent the first 5 years of our marriage just growing up.
Yeah.
Like I literally, because I was only
That's honest, man.
I was like 26 when we got married. I don't think I was proper ready for marriage until 30, 31.
Yeah.
By that time, we already had 2 kids.
Yeah.
And it was like, actually, well, you got to fix up. Like, because like you said, I was still like, I had girlfriends. I had loads of girlfriends.
Yeah.
I still wanted to hang out with them. Even though I wasn't going to do anything, I was just like, oh, hang out with my girlfriends. I'm like, your wife's at home with your 2 kids. Like, don't you think you should be at home with your 2 kids? Like,
and when you say girlfriends, you mean female friends?
Like female friends, yeah.
I just want to say, because I care about you, brother. So I just want to keep everyone safe.
I don't know. I just girls have friends.
We get, yeah.
But it was one of those things where for me it was like, oh, you know what? Actually, I had to wake up and say, actually, my wife's been with these kids all day while you've been at work. the first thing you should be thinking about is to go home and relieve that pressure from her
Yeah.
and, you know, take care of your responsibility rather than trying to look after other friends or other people or whatever. And it's just the growing up side of things where you want to people please, but I had to realize I had to put my family first. And so that took time. But I feel like it was a step that if I look back now, I probably say I got married too early. But then if I really think about it, I'm probably lucky that I did.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't, my probably whole life would be different.
Yeah.
You see the age of marriage thing, yeah? I think that there's just like cause and effect on both sides. Like earlier and later.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you lose and gain on both sides.
Yeah.
Every single
Pros and
year
cons,
that it changes, basically. Koy, are you single at the moment?
What kind of question is this behavior?
So, do you know what? I can't say
Say orange. Say orange.
Say orange.
Say orange.
I am seeing a sweet one.
Okay, cool. That's
Yeah,
fine. I am 3 times.
I'm seeing a sweet one, but I'm not married.
Yeah. Cool. I thought because we speak about relationships and that. Yeah. I think that she should say oranges. So I am. Yeah, I think that it's important questions that you're asking, and I can even tell that you're somebody who kind of like listens out to things. Because even when you asked if like my parents are still together,
because it made it something that wasn't foreign to you.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Whereas for me, it was.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know the rules and terms and conditions of this thing, and I haven't seen it be a wonderful thing. You know. And then God gave me experiences and really amazing friends who really gave me insight into their situations and how like beautiful that companionship can be if you know certain things and if the other person knows certain things and if you align on all of that stuff. And I think once I had a bit more of a blueprint for it, it's a beautiful thing. But before that, I said, I don't know how happy women are in this thing. I just didn't know. I didn't know how happy women were. But can you see how that's so coloured by my experience? Bear in mind, my mum's never said a bad word against my dad. She's always, but I just knew so little. And so when I see like obviously all my brothers and all you guys kind of doing the marriage thing, I'm like, there's younger kids who maybe don't have that at home, but get to see that this is a source of joy for men and women, you know? So that's that.
It's one of the things that like content creation has helped to change the world as well, because I guess that it's undeniable that nurture affects us all, right? I mean, what we see on a day-to-day affects us all. And when we were younger, it's kind of like in your household and in your ends. Yeah. That's all you get to see. And I guess with social media, like today, you get to see the experiences of people like us in different scenarios, basically. How much do you think that growing up as a South London girl has shaped who you are today?
Oh my God, it might have been one of the best assets, you know, because I think people have an assumption of you. Everybody has. So let me just say, as a black woman, everyone has an assumption of you, whether it's that you're not friendly, you're mean, you're not intelligent, whatever that is, And I feel like being from South London allows me to really cut through that. There's like a friendliness, but like a don't play with me, but like, you know, like, do you know what I mean? And you're exposed to so many people, like, you forget. If it's to this point where I believe certain political I believe certain things are going to happen in politics just because I live in London. I forget that this London is not a litmus test for the rest of the country. It's so diverse. There's so much access. So much access. And I know it sounds crazy from South London. Like I remember researching the history of South London. It was really where like prostitution happened. It was really like the gutter of, I'm talking about hundreds and hundreds of years ago. And then all of a sudden, like the property value of the homes in certain places of South that are seen as dangerous are so high. Like it's really transformed. Obviously gentrification, all of that, but it's really transformed. And I feel like it's giving me access to the wealthy, but also those who are not that wealthy. It's giving me access to so many people. No one is foreign to me. Like everyone, I have capacity for everyone. And I think that comes from being South London. Even though I don't think of that as a massive part of my identity, it's something I'm very grateful for sure. Where are you guys from?
South.
Oh, yeah.
I'm from East, but...
East. Oh, you're real England.
Yeah, I always say that as well.
Yeah, that's like,
East London. East London's
the capital.
The real London. If we're keeping it real.
Yeah,
like East London is the real London.
That's where I'm from.
Yeah.
But you're basically
South because I go to church
in South.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I guess
I don't love how East London dressed though.
Listen, East London is a techie.
You know what? There's
a lot of things I don't like about East London, actually.
Let's go into it.
East London is like Gotham City. Like, it needs like more police. Like, it's like, if you could say like where is someone most likely to jump from a single story flat roof onto the street, grab a lady's handbag and run into the night? East London is the most likely out of all the areas. You know, that's like a Batman scene, though.
Yeah,
That's
I literally was like, where is
That's
it?
like a Gotham City scene. Like,
It's like, you guys are making too much money to be in these places. What's going on? But yeah,
that's most likely happen to East.
East is mad, and the dress thing is crazy because my wife obviously she's from Nigeria. She grew up in Peckham. When we got married, the first thing she did was go through my wardrobe and just throw away at least 80% of my clothes, put them in bags, and we just
what sort of clothes?
You don't love
man had
Goofy.
you know yeah, I had
Sylvester Tweety.
Yeah
really
A t-shirt.
how you know I did
Yeah, because I remember popping them times.
I had Sylvester Tweety, I had Lot 29 with Snoop on it. I had all the Machino, I had all the basketball teams, the logos on one jumper.
It's flagrant. It's
All of them.
loud.
Hey, no, that jumper used to hit though.
I had all of them on.
Yeah.
That jumper
Got
used
rid of
to
that
hit.
straight away.
Listen, I'm for freedom. Like, do your thing, but no one's freer than East.
Like academics, like
Bro.
a V-suit, but just mix match everything. It was
Yeah.
just crazy.
When I go to, you know, you got minimalism,
Yeah.
you got maximalism as well, innit?
Yeah.
When I go to Stratford, that's what it's like.
Maximalism,
It's
yeah.
like this.
Come on.
Why is
Yeah.
everybody in one place just dressed so differently? Heels,
Oh, see, now
and
I like
sliders
it now.
with no socks.
Yeah, now you're gassing it to me. I like that now. But yeah, no, you're right.
It's a
loud.
madness, though.
It's loud.
It's a madness.
loud.
It's loud. It's just bare different songs playing at once.
No, but it's,
Yeah.
you know what it is though?
Just-
It's because of its personality. That's the thing about being coming from East. You're allowed to.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why
yeah,
something
yeah,
like
yeah.
grime
Yeah.
can exist. And
Yes,
like
yes,
because you're
yes.
just
You're
allowed
right.
to whatever your
You're
personality
right.
is, you're allowed to do
You're
it.
right.
You're
Allowed to do it,
be-
basically.
You're right.
No
Because in South, it's all grey and black. Well, back in the days, I don't know now.
South fits
It's very
within a
uniform.
certain
You have to
there's
be act a
parameters.
certain way. Yeah,
There's
yeah, yeah.
parameters in South,
You
basically.
know what? Big up East, man. You're
Yeah,
right.
big up
actually.
East, man.
You're free, and plus with East, everyone acts black. Like it's not black is the culture. So like it's
Do
one
you
of the things
think?
that so where we grew up, I live in Tower Hamlets.
Mm-hmm.
So in Tower Hamlets, Bangladeshi is the majority.
Yeah.
Then you've got black. Then white are the minority. So when people say they grew up racism, I never see it because white
were
people. I was always around and mixed, but everybody talks the same. We all talk hood. Everyone talks like, doesn't matter where they're from, what they are, Chinese, whatever. Everyone talks the same. We're all from ends. We all talk, and so everyone's just free to express themselves. East is great for that, but like you said, in regards to like when I've gone back, because obviously I live in Bromley now, nice southeast London. When I've gone back to man, I said, bruh, did I live here? This place is terrible. Like it's actually just grimy. Like there's no parks, there's no greenery. It don't smell right. It don't look
You
right.
sound literally just like 90s babies. When they talk about like Kenneton or they talk about things that they talk as if how we made it out, bro.
Kenneton
We
ain't
made
that
it
bad.
out, bro.
Nah, Kenneton's bad, man.
No, it's not.
It's bad. When we used to do leaflets and we out from our church, and say we're doing
Oh,
that
did
then.
you? Well, that's because
Go around all the houses.
they may not have been open to the religion, but there's not.
But remember, Kenneton is still like in South, innit? Well, the thing of the litmus test for East is like Aldgate, is meant to be like a main London area, but it represents East. And Aldgate is, Aldgate is down the road from mainstream London. But
Come on,
because
you
it's,
got Aldgate and then you got Whitechapel just next to each other,
bro,
completely different.
they are jammed up. The Whitechapel's jammed up.
Whitechapel is crazy.
Watch where the comments are just going to be everyone from East London.
Yeah,
Everybody.
you know it, Whitechapel is jammed up, bro.
No, I think it's great when you're growing up, you don't know any better. You generally are just growing up in your area. Then with exposure, whether it's to the uni you go to, the like when you work in corporate, you get this insight to finer, more convenient living, and like you get this access to unnecessary shininess. Like I don't know how to describe it. Whether it's where you lot do your conferences, whether it's like I remember when I signed my contract, they also gave me a bottle of champagne with it. So I got this massive piece, I don't know, this massive package, and inside it was my contract to sign, but this champagne bottle, and it just makes you think, wow, I'm entering something. And you get access to visually, you get access to a lot of things, and if you know how to play the game, you get access to a lot of stuff. Like sometimes actually coming from ends is such an asset. It's such an asset because you're the first that certain people are meeting. You define that experience, and I don't know how to describe it, but there's people love it. People love people from ends. I don't know what it is, but you know how to play the game, and I think it was the first access, and also like even content creation gave me such access. What? Pilates? What? No, like just some of the things like being paid to fly to another country to work. Like these are not things that I saw, you know, and so. Yeah, I would say when you were talking about young people and knowing what they want, I think you may not know what you want in 10, 20 years, but you don't understand how unbelievably young you are. Like, you don't understand that you have a good 5 years of just trying things. I wish I had even though I was trying things, it was I felt like I was doing something wrong because I should have really just taken 5 years to just try everything, anything. But instead, I kind of took a risk and it felt right and it paid off. But I wish I did that with more things, if that makes sense. So that would be my advice. Like, you may not know what you want, but just do things so quickly that you know what you don't want.
So I guess a question that I guess a lot of the young people want to know is, with all that you're doing, how are you monetizing your gifts?
I even came to ask you guys questions. Let's do this because no, quite literally, my friend was like to me, like, these are really dusty, so I won't do that. But my friend was like to me, like, yeah, go and ask them questions. I think I monetized really quickly because I think it was COVID, there was redundancies, and I started my show. Yeah. So that's why I had those ad breaks. Number one, because ad breaks was always something people don't look forward to. I wanted it to be something people looked forward to in my show. So that's why I did that. But also because that's how I started freelancing. People then started asking me to create content for them or to film things for them. I remember, you guys are going to think I'm so dumb. I remember like a guy emailing me and he was like, hey, I want to create a piece of content. So I was so eager. I got my laptop, and I went to his house. And when I told Temi Alchemy that I was going to do that, he said, I'm going to drive you. Bear in mind, I know Temi Alchemy from the content world. I'm so glad I have a place to say this. He literally was like, because we were filming one of his shows, he had a driving show where we would talk. And he was like, I'm going to drive you there and I'm just going to hover for a little bit and see if you're comfortable. And he actually stayed, I think, the entire time. Brother. And I will, good men. Yeah. Good women as well, but good men, especially if you didn't know that young, it's just such a game changer. But anyway, he stood and I was like, okay, I need to find a better way of doing this because I can't just be traveling to people's houses.
Come on,
the guy was very legit, by the way, but the guy was very legit, but it was God's favor because it could have been an absolute weirdo. Do you know what I mean? So, but that was my first time starting to do things, and then brands, I started to like create relationships and put myself forward to work with brands, and that includes Disney, that includes so many things that I grew up with. Everyone, I don't know about you guys, but you know what brands you want to work with because if they touch your youth. So if there were brands that I had seen growing up that felt far away, I knew I wanted to work with them. But then also they didn't know that I was a scaredy cat. I would ask for whatever I wanted. Like, I would ask for the money I wanted. And I remember when I first started freelancing, I did this job. And then after I did the job, I said, hey, all my prices are locked in. But how much would you have paid me? Guys, he would have paid me thousands more than I had paid for. Doing that job was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Now that I knew that I could be paid infinitely more. But I think it's trial and error. That sounds horrible. You want structure, but you only want structure because that's all you've ever known. So I monetized through freelancing. I took my YouTube and I turned it into my CV, and I applied for some jobs I was not qualified for. So one of them was a senior creative producer at Somerset House, which meant I was running a whole entire summer program. Every day, it was a 4-day job. That 5th day, I spent learning what I had to do for the next week. Like, I really was like my dad's daughter. Like, I was really jugging. Like, I was figuring things out, and I was really close with the other freelancers. So anytime I had a gap in knowledge, I would just ask them. Not everyone's going to be that kind, but I would just ask them. And the last couple of years of my life has been so, I would say, almost random, because I honestly feel like I hitchhike from job to job, depending on what is that thing that I want to learn, or the money that I want to make, or the place I want to be living in that time. So that's kind of how I've been doing it. So now I want to get to a place where I have systems going all the time. I think your last guest, who, guys, definitely watch it, he mentioned that if you can't separate from the company and it's still run, you're just self-employed. I'm self-employed. I want to get to business owner. I don't think I've ever said that out loud. Amen. So I want to get to business owner. I feel like there's a lot of ideas that the world will enjoy that I have. And I think my big issue before was not wanting to waste people's time. So when people would reach out and be like, hey, I want to help with production and stuff like that, I was like, I don't know how to like add you in without, like, I don't know how to schedule you in because I'm doing everything on the fly. I don't know how to, you know, like, when do I start paying you? I want to make sure that no one can ever complain about what I'm paying and stuff like that. And also because the internet can be quite, you know, I've seen so many people be dragged for businesses. I felt like I didn't want to do trial and error with someone's livelihood or anything like that. So yeah, I think a lot of like gaps in knowledge and not knowing things have kept me keeping everything very in hand. And it means I haven't produced as much as I would love to produce, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So guys, how do I monetize moving forward? Do you tell me?
Good question.
And I also want to diversify outside of content as well.
So at the moment, you kind of sound like you're freelancing. So
Yes, yeah, freelance.
So you've got your skills, and then anyone that needs it. And so is it more reactive? You're waiting for people to come to you, or are you pitching yourself down with people?
A bit of both. I'm people come, but also, I think I'm in a little bit of a cycle of people coming, regular people coming. So I have that, and I don't know if I want to keep freelancing. I think I want to go back into creating content and then more promoting services and diversifying. I don't know. Probably this is a bit more of a complicated conversation than just right now. But in terms of monetizing, it was always selling my skills. Yeah. That's kind of how I've always been able to do it, or promoting something, or hosting for different corporations and stuff like that. So that's how I've been able to monetize, and it's money that I'd never seen anywhere else, honestly. So
I think that you're doing all the right things, and I think that if I was to add anything, just the thing that comes off my mind is that sometimes leveraging what you've done and leveraging yourself could be the best thing. Yeah. So what you've done, nobody else can do. But do you get what I'm trying to say? The experiences or the things that you've produced, nobody else can really do because it's very unique to you. Yeah. So one thing I'm kind of obsessed at the moment is a lot of business to business stuff. So if you're on the production side, you can say that, look, this is what I've created for myself, and I've actually worked with this and this brand to create it. We can help your business do X, Y, Z, basically. Yeah. You say you got a team because you'll get the freelancers, and that sorts that issue as well. You just find freelancers recommendations from people and say that you quote the client comes back to you, find freelancers that fit your budget and allow your business to make a profit as well. Yeah. And then you can go from there, because I guess that once you start, you know, in the media world or in any industry, everybody kind of knows each other. Yeah. So like, for example, Iman and I do a lot of television work with different channels, and we know like the production companies that certain channels like to work with. So sometimes if your show is in with that production company, there's just a higher rate of it getting commission because the broadcaster messes with that production company. Yeah. So it's kind of just getting in there basically. Yeah. But I think there's a lot to be. I think that you're in pole position to do. No,
I definitely agree. I think there's almost like a comfort with freelance or like paid work. You just know at the very clear end goal and all that. There's so much open-endedness in terms of business, and I think your last guest was saying, you got to fall in love with swimming. Yeah, watch the show. It makes sense. And I think I love elements of swimming. I might love the breaststroke. I don't know if I love the doggy paddle. I don't know different kinds of swimming, but yeah. So
of all of the ones, doggy paddle. Of course, you remember breaststroke.
Yeah, I'm going through like a big era of growth and change, and it's incredibly uncomfortable for me.
But that's exciting.
No, it is exciting, but it's uncomfortable for me because I love feeling like I'm riding the wave rather than learning to surf, if that makes sense. I don't know if does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm okay because what I want is so important to me. I'm okay now just with the discomfort, if that makes sense.
I think even using your analogy of riding a wave, if you don't learn how to, there's always bigger waves, right?
Yeah. If you only know how there's always bigger waves.
If you only know how to ride a certain wave, you're always gonna like. I was like, me and Ty was saying it like there's if the goal is to make $1 million, like you might say, okay, I'll work with 1,000 people and that will get me to my $1 million. But then when you learn that actually I can work with 100 people and I can still make the same $1 million, why would I kill myself trying to chase the 1,000? Yeah. Do you understand? And that's what getting on the bigger wave is. You're learning how to do it at a bigger scale. And I think for you is that, again, and maybe because you don't see yourself the way people see you, but you are Koi, right? So the content that you've done that's done the best. When you think about the content that's been most successful, did you write down the process that you went through to make that content?
No.
So the first process for you is to go back and look at, what have I done? Why was it successful? Now, once you've worked that out and the process that you took, now you have people who are starting out in content or maybe are doing content that say, I want to do something similar to that. How do I do it? here's my coaching course to show you how I go about creating content. This is the process that I put in place.
Yeah.
This is the things that we think about, and this is how we get this reaction.
Yeah, I actually filmed the whole process.
Exactly.
I did actually film the whole process. No, I understand that. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. Appreciate you. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not. No, I've took notes. Don't worry. No, and I'll watch this back as well, guys. Make sure you watch and subscribe. But yeah, no, I think it's just there's a part of me that's a little bit Disney Channel. That's a little bit like just do the stuff you love, like. But I know that's not. You know, you have to do other things.
Exactly.
So I've learned that. Don't worry.
Actors that they take roles that you might not like. Really want to do the.
Yeah.
It might not be the type of role you really want to play or be the. But you understand at this moment with the bills that I've got to pay.
Yeah.
That's what I've got to use my talent to do right now, and it gives me time to wait for another role to come in that I will love and do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
Musicians
100%.
don't always make the songs that they love, but they're trying new things. Look at all of a sudden everyone's doing country music. What happened?
Yeah.
Burna Boy, Beyonce doing country. When did this start? It's that actually.
Yeah.
Let me try something new.
No, you're right. You're right.
And the key element is for the examples that you gave and what Koya is saying as well is that it starts with what you love.
Yes.
I'm going to say, so you're in this big thing because of what you love, but you fully understand that amongst the journey of what you love, there's going to be certain swimming techniques that you don't know how, that you don't prefer to do, but you got to swim anyway.
No,
Yeah, man. You got to swim anyway.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much. And I you lot gave me so much love and so much positivity. I really do appreciate it, but please understand that I feel the exact same for you guys. Like seeing you guys do what you do across different platforms, different channels, how you represent yourselves. I don't think you lot understand how this is probably the first generation to have that. So much of that as well. And you're so quick to help. I remember when I was looking for a mortgage advisor, you just sent one over. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's a massive compliment when you guys invited me on. Like when I was telling my friends, they were like, so what are they going to talk to you about? I was like, girl, let me ask, because I don't know. But like money is an unavoidable part of life. And it's one that I am increasingly finding sexier. Like even when I talk to, like, you know, when you're dating and you talk to people and just their relationship with money, how they talk about it, like when they seem knowledgeable, like when they seem like they have a goal, when they seem like they'll be an asset, it's honestly it's such an unavoidable part of life. And I spend a lot of time kind of just thinking, make more than you spend. That's like, you know, not the dumbest, but the baseline level. But learning things through you, Bola, like it just makes that thing less mystic and less confusing and less scary and less foreign. So I really do appreciate you guys. Like now I just listen to like finance stuff just in the background, just so it's a part of how I think. I think I've now gone from the basic level of make more than you spend to like so much more other things. And I appreciate you guys a lot.
You got to understand, the reason we did the podcast is to have people like you, so that we wanted to have people that are not from finance, because a lot of finance podcasts are finance people talking to other finance people.
All of us talking to each other.
We'll just invite each other to each other's podcast. It's like, no, actually, we want to talk to non-finance people look up to, people that have done that has been successful, and talk about their journey, because they're going to be people that are going to relate to you, that are going to be there. Like, actually, you know what? Maybe I'm not that great with money, or maybe I could be better with money, or maybe I do have this talent, but maybe I don't know which direction I want to go into. And they've learned so much because they probably think from the outside looking in that Koya has it all planned out. She's done it all. She's just so talented, and it's all been easy. And now they know that, you know, the journey is hard. And there's ups and downs. And so, which leads us on to...
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing we always ask our guests, I'm getting worried.
Segue.
It's a good segue, Iman. One thing we always ask our guests is let us know what the W and the L of your journey is, the cream and the crust, if you will, just so people understand that this life does come with ups and downs, basically.
Okay, yeah, sure. I think let me not rubbish you guys. Let me really take a second to come up with something meaningful and relevant.
Which is good. I think a lot of our guests have been taking this W and L serious, which is good. Come on.
Okay, the W is that I don't care about the rules. I think the first person to ever become a baker just was playing around with some dough. You know, all the rules come after. Like, and I think if there's something you want to do, if you're doing it, you're that thing. Like, don't let anybody tell you different. Like, you can't gatekeep my progress or my title. unless it's doctor, chill. Then I think the L is and this is going to be very honest, there's no shortcut to the hard work. My love is with my ideas, but I remember feeling like money and ease came with working and just hosting for other people, and it just ended up taking a lot more time and made it really hard for me to continue to build what Chucky likes to call the home. It's just going to be hard. It's just going to be hard. You just pick the hard you love, you pick the hard you're interested in, and you can always switch it back around. But I would say there's no shortcut to the hard work. None at all. If it feels easy, it's either you really, really love it or something's going to come surprise you soon. So yeah, I would say there's no shortcut to the hard work.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. Well, Koi, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
You look at the camera and let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, sure. So my Instagram is IamKoi. That's IAMQOY. And my TikTok is Big Koi, BIGQOY. And then obviously my YouTube is Koi Lawal, QOYLAWAL. I'm acting like you lot wouldn't write this somewhere, but anyway, lots of creative stuff coming through, and things where I want to create with people that you haven't seen before, and that could be you guys as well. So please stay tuned and engage, interact with me. I'm always open. So yeah.
And if you need a presenter,
Yes, yeah. Oh, I slap with that. Oh, can't play with me. Yeah, that's second nature to me. That's like breathing to me. So yeah, if you need a presenter or host on something, man, hit me up.
Amazing.
Thank
Well,
you.
guys, that's been the Bread About podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Yo, and we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.
Blessings.